The morning sun cut sharp across the Riverside Animal Control in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. That day of kind of sunlight that feels like it's trying to bleach the truth right into the bones of every soul who walks through those doors. I remember how Sheriff Tom Bradley checked his gun, more out of habit than need. The weight of what he had to do, pulling his shoulders down, had half an hour to put down Titan, the infamous 2,000-pound Angus bull who'd turned this quiet town upside down for months. Yeah, that's how it started. You could hear the steel bars rattling from the parking lot. Titan wasn't just big. He was wild, black as night, eyes red and rolling, his hooves digging craters in concrete like he was trying to break the earth itself. Every inch of those bars was gouged up from his horns, like he'd spent every spare second fighting to get out. "You know, I still don't like this, Tom, Dar," Sarah Mitchell said as she walked up, clutching a stack of reports. She'd been the facility's head vet longer than most, and it showed in her eyes, tired, worried, but sharp. 3 attacks in 2 months. Mrs. Henderson can't use her right arm, and the Peterson kid, honestly, it's a miracle he's alive. Sheriff Bradley just nodded, jaw tight. He remembered the call. 8-year-old Jimmy Peterson, out mending a fence with his dad, when Titan broke through and trampled the poor boy. 2 broken ribs, punctured lung, and enough trauma to last a lifetime. "The judge's order is clear," Tom finally said, voice low. "Dangerous animal. Too many chances, no sanctuary'll take him. We don't have a choice." Through the reinforced glass, Titan kept pacing, restless, snorting, slamming his head against the bars every few minutes with a sound that echoed like a sledgehammer in your chest. "Dr." Mitchell shook her head. "What I don't get is what changed. The old owner swore he was gentle, even around kids, a show winner. Then one day, snap. Like a switch. We checked for everything, tumors, infections, nothing." She glanced at her files, frustration written all over her face. Outside, a crowd was growing, some with signs begging to save Titan, others demanding justice for the injured, TV news trucks turning the whole scene into a circus. "Maybe some animals are just born bad," Tom muttered, not really believing it himself. Years on the job had taught him violence always had roots. You just didn't always see them until too late. Then out of nowhere, new kind of chaos at the front gate. A woman in a green cardigan, face flushed, arguing with the security guard, a little girl clutching her hand. "That's Maria Santos. She works at the deaf school, Dr." Mitchell said, squinting. "But who's the kid?" Even at a distance, you could tell the girl Maya was different. She stood still as stone, dark eyes fixed on Titan, not blinking, not scared like she saw something the rest of us didn't. And here's where it gets weird. Titan, who'd been pacing nonstop, just stopped. Froze, actually, and stared right back at her through the glass. All that wild energy, the panic gone. "Just curious." "Tom, look, Dr." Mitchell whispered. "He's calm. I've never seen him like that." The clock was still ticking, 20 minutes left. Outside, Maria was pleading with the security guard, signing as she spoke for Maya's benefit. "She just wants to see the bull," Maria insisted. "She says she understands what's wrong." The guard, Pete, looked skeptical, and who could blame him? "Ma'am, this is an active animal control situation. We can't let a kid get near a dangerous bull, especially today." But Maya was already pressing her small hands against the glass, eyes locked with Titan's. Not a flicker of fear. You know what I mean? Like she was listening for something the rest of US couldn't hear. Through the glass, Maya saw not a monster, but a giant who looked more lost than angry. His body said hurt, not rage. She tugged on Maria's sleeve, signing rapidly. Maria hesitated, then spoke, voice shaking. She says the bull's in pain. Not angry. Scared. She says she can help. That's the moment Sheriff Bradley stepped outside, drawn by the shift in energized, seen enough strange things on this job to know when something truly out of the ordinary was happening. "How much time?" he called. 15 minutes, Dr. Mitchell answered, glancing at her watch. Tom studied Maya. Most adults wouldn't go near that pen. Yet here was an 8-year-old girl drawn in like it was destiny. "What is she saying?" he asked Maria, who signed to Maya and then struggled to translate. "She says Titan isn't bad, something's hurting him, making him act crazy. She wants to get closer." "Dr." Mitchell's scientific side was baffled. How could she know that? She's never even met him. Maya signed again. Maria's face went pale. She says she can feel his pain. When she touches the glass, she feels vibrations. It's like he's screaming, but nobody hears him. Everything stopped. The crowd, the protests, even Titan's heavy breathing seemed to fill the room. Then the wildest thing happened. Titan approached the glass, slow and careful. No rage, just intent. He pressed his massive head to the spot where Maya's hands rested. It was like they were having a conversation without words, two outcasts in their own worlds, understanding each other perfectly. Maya closed her eyes, trembling. Dr. Mitchell pointed to Titan's monitor. His stress levels, which had been off the charts, were suddenly stabilizing. It's impossible, she whispered. But Maya was just getting started. She began humming, not making actual sounds, but sending out vibrations through her body, something deaf folks do when they want animals to hear them. Titan settled on the ground, calm, trusting. His whole posture softened. 10 minutes left. Maria, ask her what she's feeling. Tom said, urgency rising. Maya signed frantically. Maria's voice wavered as she translated. Titan's in agony, pain in his head, sharp and constant, like something metal stuck for months. Gets worse with loud noises. That's why he charges. He's not mad. He's desperate to escape the sound. Suddenly, every attack made sense. The fair, the tractor, the barbecue, all noisy. She says she can show us where it hurts if we let her closer. Dr. Mitchell hesitated, rules at war with her gut. The bull was a condemned beast. But the evidence was right there, breathing, waiting. 5 minutes left. Tom stared at Titan, saw the truth, no rage, just hope. Against every regulation and every ounce of common sense, he opened the enclosure. Maya walked straight, no hesitation, just certainty. She knelt by Titan's giant head, hands moving over his forehead and ears, focused, searching. Suddenly she stopped, signing rapidly. She found something. Behind his left ear, deep inside, sharp metal. Maria translated. Dr. Mitchell went in, guided by Maya, and her face changed the moment she felt it. There's something here, a piece of metal, wire maybe. We missed it on the x-rays. She prepped an emergency extraction. Titan lay still, trusting Maya. 20 tense minutes later, Dr. Mitchell pulled out a jagged 2-inch shard of metal fencing, bloodied and old. The explanation snapped into place. Every vibration, every loud noise had been pure agony. As the pain lifted, you could see Titan's true self coming back, the gentle giant, grateful, nuzzling Maya, the girl who couldn't hear but had listened better than anyone. The whole town watched as the bull condemned to die became a living lesson in empathy, all because one child dared to trust what she felt over what she was told. So, if you were Sheriff Bradley, would you have stuck with the rules or listened to the silent voice of a child who saw what no one else could? Let's talk about it. Where's the line between safety and compassion? Was justice served, or did something deeper win out? Drop your thoughts below, and if you believe stories like this matter, share it, because sometimes the quietest voices are the ones we most need to hear.